is what my family calls tuna oodles. It's like all the stuff that you would do to make tuna noodle casserole, except for the waiting to bake it with crackers on it. Like, fuck that noise. Since I unplugged it, so we're making tuna noodle casserole. Only not really, because I have no intention of putting this in a pan and baking it. Certainly not going to put crackers on it, mostly because I don't have crackers. Well, and I never have. Just dries it out. Anyways, look, pan on low heat. Can of cream of mushroom soup, depending on your quantity. You don't have to. Yeah, it worked out pretty well. Okay. And then 1 can of tuna or 2 cans of tuna. I like tuna. I put 2 in. One time I had those like big industrial cans of tuna, and I had already like frozen half of it because I'm not going to use something like 4 pounds of tuna at once. And I still put like half of what was left in there. And it turns out there is such a thing as too much tuna in tuna noodle casserole. But, and you can use probably canned chicken, probably other canned things. You could probably use all the things. You don't have to use tuna. That's just what I grew up with. And you don't have to use cream of mushroom soup. If you don't like cream of mushroom soup, you could, I think cream of chicken would work fine. Heck, I've never tried it with like cheese sauce, you know, like the Campbell's canned cheddar soup. Might be good. Cream of celery. I mean, who uses that? But, so, like, yeah, it would probably be fine. This is too hot. Because it shouldn't be frying up like that. And I'm going to take off some of the tuna juice to give it to my cat, who is afraid of everyone and everything, but she heard the can. Yeah. Here you go, pretty girl. This is Dolly. Notice that these is very small pieces. You know, they charge more money for bigger chunks, but I don't know why anybody would want bigger chunks. Like, I'm not going to use my canned cheap-ass tuna for its chunkiness. Get out. You know, I seriously overfish tuna, so this is like one of my guilty pleasures. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you're going to stir it a lot. All right. And it's still, yeah, it's bubbling, but I don't think it'll go any lower without just turning itself off. I'm going to put the lid on it, or a lid, and we're going to leave it for like 5 minutes. And a few years back, I had a job working for a camp in the summer. I worked for a Girl Scout camp, and I used way too many egg noodles that summer, and like ruined myself for egg noodles. So now I'm like perfectly happy to use the diddly. You can just use what you want or what you got. It's fine. It probably should be, I think it's better if it's not a long, thin pasta like spaghetti in terms of holding on to this stuff. But there's no reason why shells or whatever won't work. Anyways, okay. And then pasta. Yeah, that's not enough water. You know what? I don't care. It'll be fine. Now, this is where I try and pour from the bag and it ends up all over the stove. Ooh, I'm getting better at things. Okay. I'll give it one stir. Yes, I'm using the knife. Why are you not using the end of the knife? I don't want to scratch the pan or pick the knife. Okay, now we leave that alone until the pasta is done and the cheese is melted. Normally, like my whole life growing up, my mom made this, my dad made this, you know, single parents. So it had, this is what it's supposed to be in my mind quality to it. But you can use any pasta. We could do this first. Okay, so it's been burbling away happily. As you can see, the cheese melted. And because you're using the cream mushroom soup, it'll go in. You can see that it's stuck on the bottom. Don't worry about it. Alright, so now we're just going to leave that for a minute. And we're going to turn it to real damn low. Nope, it's already on real. I'm going to turn it off because we're pretty much done. But the thing that I forgot to tell you about doing first is I put peas in mine because that's what I grew up with, but you could put anything in them. You could put, you know, green beans, spinach, whatever. It's what you like. You also don't have to put produce in it, but I think that it really benefits from having the sort of sweetness from the produce minus offsetting the saltiness of the pasta cheese tuna. I use frozen peas. My parents used frozen peas. My mom would have just stirred them in because once you put them in the hot pasta and you wait a few minutes, it would have defrosted them entirely. But I like to not do that. Here's a food service thing. Not everybody. Like if you put the edge to there, right? And you take out however much you're going to use, then you can make a terrible mess because this is not a very good sized package. And you tie it. Yeah. Alright. Forgive me the wasting of the water. But then I'm just using hot water to get it warmer. Because I use next to no water on this, there's not much left. Oh well. Ooh, it browned on the bottom. That'll make it tasty. But then the hot water will continue to cook those peas a little bit. Oh, I'm shamelessly torturing this poor pan. Fuck it. I'll get the rest of that some other time. Some garlic powder. Tastes wrong if you don't put it in. At least tastes wrong to me. And some pepper. I don't know. Why don't I have a pepper mill? Well, that's a long story. It involved somebody fucking stealing it from me and me searching for decades to get a replacement for the one that I loved and missed, but haven't been able to find again. Wishy, wishy, wishy. See, because I turned it off, the moisture has made that loosen. And now it's not got stuff stuck to the bottom. Noodles and peas. Oh, I wash my hands all the time. You didn't see it. Wash your hands before you cook. Wash your hands while you're cooking. Use soap. Whee! Fuck it, I'll get the rest of it. Stir. And honestly, it's done. Then I put a shit ton of pepper on top because I like pepper. I often put a little bit of salt too because I like that dichotomy of a little bit of salt on top, just like we would put, well, maybe salt on salted caramel, you know, a little salt on the top of your brownies or your chocolate chip cookies so that it is salt forward when it touches your mouth, but then other forward once you're eating it. This often needs a little bit more moisture. You should use milk. If you don't have milk, water is fine. That's tuna oodles. Ta-da! I got that half a block of smoked cheddar. Really made this a little bit more naughty. Alright. In a bowl. A little pepper. And by a little, I mean a fuck ton of pepper. I tasted it. This doesn't need salt. Often it does want salt. Not today. Okay, here's the stupid thing. I always have citric acid. I'm going to put just the tiniest bit on there because that'll also make that. It'll be a little bit sour, a little bit salty on top. Citric acid is at least 2 times as strong as salt is. So, you know, if you're using it to enhance your flavor, don't go salt-wise with it. You'll really fuck it up. Also, yeah, dude, I lost it. Yeah, you can put cayenne on that. You don't have to do any of these things. It's your food. Huh? 3 maybe. 1. When you dress a pasta, it's gonna absorb all the water. So if you go to eat it all the next day, it's gonna have sucked up its water. You can add more milk to stir it up and make it more moist. Or you can just like make the sauce and make the pasta and then dress it as you're eating it. And therefore it'll stay moist. Also, like, the more the moisture it absorbs, the less al dente it's going to be. So, you know, you can only do that a certain number of times before you've got pasta mush. All right. So just be aware. If you leave it for the next day, it's going to suck up all its water, which is fine. Tastes fine. It's different. Yeah, tastes like childhood and happiness. And honest to God, I make this like at least 4 times a year. This is what I want when it's cold and rainy like it is tonight. Okay.